Alright, so we're going to do task 2 now. Now, task 2 is honestly a little bit easier compared to the other one. There's not too many scary fractions, the numbers are a lot smaller, but I'm going to still go over it, just as a little extra practice. So task 2, here's our problem. Gerald works as a firefighter. During his 24-hour shift, he puts out 3 fires and does 6 house calls. The next week, during his 48-hour shift, he puts out 10 fires and does 4 house calls. How many hours does Gerald spend putting out fires? How many hours does he spend doing house calls? Assume he doesn't take time to sleep or take a break. Okay, so we're going to do this sentence by sentence. So Gerald works as a firefighter. That's important stuff because it just contextualizes the word problem, but we actually don't need it for our equation. The second sentence, during his 24-hour shift, he puts out 3 fires and does 6 house calls. So we'll do 24 as our hours because we want to know how many hours he's spending doing each task. We'll set X equal to hours for fire and we'll set Y equal to hours for house call. All right. So he puts out 3 fires and he does 6 house calls within his 24-hour shift. Now the next week, he has a 48-hour shift. Let me make it a little bit bigger. 24 is equal to 3x, which is our hours for fires, plus 6y, which is our hours for house calls. Then we get 48 hours is equal to 10x plus 4y. All right. So let's start with the first equation, just like last time, and we'll actually do it 2 different ways. We'll solve for y in 2 different methods. So we have 24 is equal to 3x plus 6y, and all we're gonna do is solve for y. So we're gonna subtract 3x from both sides. I wonder if any of you just heard what happened. So these are gonna cancel out and we're gonna have 24 minus 3x on this side. And then we're gonna divide both sides by 6. I'm gonna bring this up over here. We get that y is equal to 24 minus 3x over 6. Now this fraction can actually be simplified one step further, because 24, 3, and 6, they all have a number we can take out from each of those. 24 is a multiple of 3, 3 is a multiple of 3, 6 is a multiple of 3. So 3 times 8 minus x over 3 times 2. These are going to cancel out. and we'll get that y is equal to 8 minus x over 2. So we solve for y, and now we can plug it in to our second equation. 48 is equal to 10x plus 4, and then this y here is the same as this y, and they're interchangeable with what they're equaling. So instead of that y, we can put 8 minus x over 2. Now, something similar actually happens that will happen on the last problem. The numbers can actually cancel out. So the bottom number and this number multiplying cancel out, because this is the same exact situation. We have 4, which is just 2 times 2, multiplying our fraction, which has a 2 at the bottom. So we'll take one of those 2's and we'll cancel out the bottom 2, and we'll get 48 is equal to 10x plus 2 times 8 minus x. We'll multiply this throughout. We have 48 is equal to 10x plus 16 minus 2x. And we will subtract the 16 from both sides, and we'll also combine the x's on this side. We get that 8x is equal to 32. We'll divide both sides by 8. And we will get that x is equal to 4. Now that we've solved for x, we're going to plug it into our fraction over here for y. So I'll put this at the top. Y is equal to 8 minus 4 over 2. Y is going to be equal to 4 over 2. And y is going to be equal to 2. Give you guys a minute to just look at the board, go through everything, see what makes sense, see what the steps are, and then we'll go through it one more time. Alright. So we had our two equations. We had 24 is equal to 3x plus 6y, and we had 48 is equal to 10x plus 4y. Where x is the hours for fires and y is the hours for house calls. We started by taking our first equation over here to the side and then solving for y. We subtracted 3x from both sides. That gave us 24 minus 3x equal to 6y. We divided 6 on both sides, giving us y is equal to 24 minus 3x over 6. 24, 3, and 6 all have a common factor, which is 3. So we'll take it out from all those numbers like we did over here. And we get 3 times 8 minus x, and we get 3 times 2. The 3's will cancel out and become just a 1. And we get that y is equal to 8 minus x over 2. With this now available for use, we'll plug it into our second equation. We have 48 is equal to 10x plus 4, and that y over there turns into 8 minus x over 2. So 4 is multiplying this whole thing, but 4 and 2, they also have similar factors. They have the same factor, so we can cancel out a 2 from the 4 and cancel out the 2 from the bottom of the fraction, giving us 48 is equal to 10x plus 2 times 8 minus x. We'll multiply the 2 throughout this whole thing, and then that'll give us 48 equal to 10x plus 16 minus 2x, and then we'll subtract 16 on both sides and combine 10x and negative 2x, giving us 32 is equal to 8x. We'll divide 8 from both sides, and that'll give us x equal to 4. Now that we have our x, we'll plug it into our fraction that we had over here for y. We'll get that y is equal to 8 minus 4 over 2. that'll give us y is equal to 4 over 2, which will give us y is equal to 2. So that's going to be the first method. This is something that we've been doing throughout this unit. We've been trying to build up. This is substitution. And the next method is something we haven't formally talked about, but some students in some classes are doing this, so we'll cover it.